Hey guys, so today is Thursday, and something I wanted to do on my channel is start a series on Thursday called Things to Know Thursday. So I thought for today's topic we would talk about things to know before you get your first tattoo. Now I have 7 tattoos, one of them being this piece here, so I do have experience with getting tattooed and the healing process and everything that goes into it, but I am not a professional, I'm not a tattoo artist, so please do not take my words too seriously. If you do have any questions regarding your tattoos or anything like that, please consult a professional, which I am not. But let's go ahead and get right into this video. The first thing you want to do before you even think about getting a tattoo is 1, figure out what that tattoo is even going to be of. Now, I know that may seem really simple, it may seem really easy, but you really want to put thought behind your tattoos. Now, I'm not saying you have to have a super in-depth meaning that burns into your soul. I'm not saying that you have to have a meaning behind your tattoos. Some people choose to do that, some people don't. For me, 90% of my tattoos have meaning. The roses on my arms do not have a specific meaning. I really just liked it aesthetically. I knew I wanted to fill up that space, so that's why I chose to get them. But you really do want to put a lot of thought into what tattoo you're going to get and where you're going to get it. And for me personally, I put about a month or more of thought into each and every one of my tattoos, so you want to put at least that much amount of time. Now, I know that may seem like a lot, but you're going to be a lot happier with your results when you put a lot of time and a lot of thought into what your tattoo is going to be of. So you want to keep in mind the tattoo placement. If you have a job or if you are seeking employment, does your place of work allow tattoos? And if they don't, then you want to reconsider getting a tattoo in a more visible place, like your arms. I can cover up my tattoos on my arms with a long sleeve shirt. The rest of mine you can't really see. So you want to keep in mind where your tattoo is going to be. Is your place of work going to allow them, or do you need to consider putting them in a place that is easily covered up? So after you've put a lot of thought into your tattoo and you've decided, okay, this is the tattoo I want, I know where I want to get it, the next thing you want to do is do a lot of research on the shop that you plan on going to. You want to research the shop, you want to research the artist. Now, when researching the artist, you want to go through their portfolio. They should have an artist portfolio. If they don't, then I don't suggest going there. You definitely want to see what the artists are capable of doing, what kind of style they do, if they specialize in black and gray, or if they specialize in color or animals or things like that. Each artist can pretty much do general tattoos, but most artists do have a very specialty kind of tattoo that they enjoy doing and that they're really good at doing. So put a lot of thought in that, do your research, get to know what kind of artist you're looking for. If you're looking for a certain style or a certain theme, you want to make sure that the artist that you're looking at can do that and does not conflict with their own personal style, you know what I mean? So after you've found your artist, you also want to make sure that they are clean and sanitary. I would recommend going and visiting the tattoo shop that you're considering going to. Make sure it's clean, ask them questions, make sure they sterilize everything, wear gloves, all that safety stuff, which they should. Most places do. If they don't, then you definitely need to get out of there and probably report them. So we haven't even gotten to the tattoo part itself. We are still pre-tattoo appointment. So after you've done your research on your own tattoo, put a lot of thought into it, done your research about your tattoo artist and the shop, the next thing you want to do is make your appointment. Some tattoo places make you come in and physically make an appointment and put down a down payment. Some shops will let you call and make an appointment and make payments over the phone, some may not. It really just depends on the shop, but if you're doing your research, you should already know what that shop requires. So after you've made your appointment, now comes some preparing for the actual tattoo. So before your appointment, you definitely want to make sure that you eat, because if you don't eat, your blood sugar is going to be really low, and then guess what? You pass out, and that's not fun for anybody. So the second thing you want to make sure you do before you even get to your appointment is pack snacks, pack something to drink, and get a battery charger. Those things are very, very important, especially if you are getting a large piece. My arm tattoo took 10 hours total. That was split into a 4-hour and 6-hour session. So I was in the tattoo chair for a very, very long time, and that gets very boring very quickly because unless you have a really good friend who's willing to sit there for 4, 6+ hours while you're getting tattooed, you're gonna get bored. And you can have conversations with your tattoo artist. A lot of them are super chill. And if you're an extroverted person that I'm not, then you can carry on a conversation and time will pass by much quicker. But for me, I'm kind of introverted. I do small talk, but I'm not a big chatter. So I like to play on my phone. I like to watch videos, listen to music, play games, all of that stuff, because not only does that keep you occupied, it also keeps you distracted from the pain. So you also want to remember to pack snacks and something to drink. You can either bring a water or bring a soda, because that way it'll help keep up your blood sugar if you feel like your blood sugar is getting low. Because if you sit through a very long tattoo, it's going to take a lot out of you. You're going to feel very tired. So most tattoo artists, when they're doing a large piece, will take breaks in between, and you want to utilize those breaks and take that as an opportunity to eat and to drink. You want to make sure that you're doing okay, and if you start to feel woozy or if you start to feel dizzy, please let your artist know, because the last thing that they want is for you to pass out on them while they're tattooing your body. So after you've done all of those steps, you are ready to get tattooed. Now, while you're being tattooed, one thing you really want to avoid is moving. That's something that can quickly ruin a tattoo, is if you move too much, especially on places like your ribs or your feet, because those are very sensitive areas, and that's a place that's very common to move and kind of be tense and jerk around and things like that. When it comes to a rib tattoo, when I got my first rib tattoo, something my tattoo artist said to me was, you need to breathe regularly, because a lot of people have the tendency to tense up when the needle is tattooing you because it hurts, and they tense up, and then the moment they feel relief, they kind of suck in a deep breath and they tense up again. And that motion of breathing really heavily can actually push the needle further into your skin, and that can cause blowouts and things like that, and you definitely don't want that. So it's much easier for the tattoo artist to work with you if you're breathing normally or close to normally as possible. You want to keep steady breaths. You don't want to take super deep breaths and then let them out, and then take another super deep breath and let them out, because that's not going to help the tattoo artist very well. Now, when it comes to your foot, a lot of the times your reflexes kick in when it comes to foot tattoos. I know when I got my foot tattoo, on the side of my foot, I had a reflex that actually caused a skip in my tattoo, but it wasn't too bad. When that happened, my tattoo artist actually said that he had a lady kick him in the face because of her reflex, because the needle hit a nerve and it caused her foot to reflex, and she ended up kicking him. So that's something that you can't really help. You want to be mindful of that and be careful. A good tattoo artist, then they should know how to handle things like that. So you just want to be careful of not moving around too much or causing any excess movement, because that's going to make it very difficult for them, and you don't want to make their job any harder than it is. You have successfully gone through your first tattoo. The next you need to know is healing. Now, healing is of course the biggest part in any tattoo or piercing, because if you don't let it heal, it's gonna look bad, and now you've got that you take care of your tattoo. You want to that you're following your tattoo artist's instructions as far as cleaning goes, and finish your tattoo. Most artists will bandage them. Now, there's two different types of bandages. One I don't know the name of, so I'll put it right here, but the second type of bandage is just a simple sterile bandage, and then they in saran wrap, and then they will, for me, they will tape it down with masking tape. Now, most tattoo artists with those type of bandages will tell you to keep it on for about 2 hours or so, and that's fine. You definitely don't want to keep it on longer than that, because that will generate bacteria, and that's not good. So you want to keep it on for the recommended time, and then it's okay to take it off, because you definitely want to let your tattoo air out and breathe and things like that. Bandage option, what it is this type of bandage that I don't remember the name, but it to help treat burn victims. So it goes to bandage on your skin, and that bandage is waterproof. So that's very good, because that means you can submerge it in water, you can get it wet and not worry too much about it. Bandages will stay on for about 2 or 3 weeks or so, depending on how big the tattoo is and how long that tattoo will take to heal. Of those bandages is you don't have to deal with peeling as much to deal with worrying about getting it wet or submersing it in water. You don't have to worry about cleaning it. It's a very great bandage and it really works well, and I really like it. Tattoos were bandaged with that type of bandage. My tattoo artist, it is a very new thing, so a lot of shops may not be doing those yet. So if you do have a regular bandage that you're allowed to take off after a couple hours, what you want to make sure you do is of course follow your tattoo artist directions in cleaning it. For me, my tattoo artist told me to clean it with antibacterial soap, and then after cleaning it, lather it with either A&D ointment, or I like to use Aquaphor. This is Aquaphor Healing Ointment Advanced Therapy. It's a very thick gel-like lotion. It's a white cream kind of lotion. It's very thick, and that's something that's good to use in the first week or so of your healing tattoo. So something you'll notice is after about a week, give or take, your tattoo will start to peel. It is very much like a bad sunburn. It will start to peel up, it'll start to flake off, and you want to make sure that you do not pick at it. It'll also itch. You do not want to scratch it with your nails. You do not want to pick at it. That is so bad for you. It is bad for your tattoo. It is bad for your skin. You do not want to mess with it. What you want to do is, if your tattoo itches, you don't want to scratch it with your nails. You want to either tap it with the pads of your fingers or kind of tap it with your hand like that, because that will help itch your tattoo, but it's not going to damage it. Because if you go in with your nails, you're scratching that tattoo and you can pull up ink and it's not going to look very good. It's going to mess with the healing process. With your flaky tattoo and your very peely, gross looking tattoo, you want to make sure that you wash it with warm water and antibacterial soap. Now, for the first few days, it's recommended that you wash your tattoo solely with your hands and not with a washcloth, because a washcloth can be very abrasive and that's not good for a very new healing tattoo. So you want to make sure you take a little bit in the palm of your hand with some warm water, and you just want to slowly lather it on your skin and be very gentle. And that'll help get off some of the dead skin, and it'll help clean your tattoo. And of course, you also want to make sure that you do this with clean hands. And then after a few days, your tattoo will feel less sore. You can kind of start getting your movement back depending on where you got it. It won't be a sore to the touch, but it is going to be sore for a while. So when it comes to cleaning, after a couple of days, maybe half a week, you can start using a washcloth. So the same thing goes, clean hands. You want to make sure that you get warm water, not too hot, not too cold, and some antibacterial soap. Put it on the washcloth, and then again, slowly lather your tattoo and cleanse it. Now with a washcloth, it is more abrasive, so it may be more tender to wash your tattoo, but it's definitely going to help get some of that dead skin off. So after you've washed your tattoo, you definitely want to make sure that you moisturize it. For about the first week to 2 weeks, you want to make sure that you use either A&D ointment or Aquaphor, because you want to keep a lot of that hydration in. You don't want your tattoo to scab over, because if it does, it'll pull a lot of the ink out, and then you've wasted a lot of money for nothing. So you definitely want to make sure you keep it moisturized and you keep all that moisture in your skin. But you don't want to over moisturize your skin, because if you apply too much A&D or too much Aquaphor, you're going to start to notice little red bumps will pop up on your tattoo or around your tattoo, and this just means that you're applying way too much ointment. You really just need a thin layer on the top of your tattoo and you're good to go. A good hint is, if you apply a thin layer, or you think is a thin layer, if you take a washcloth or a paper towel or a tissue and just kind of blot off some of the excess, that's kind of where you want to be at. You don't want to apply too much, because again, you're going to get red bumps and they're going to itch and they're going to be irritating and they're not going to look good. So you just want to make sure that you apply a very thin layer of ointment. And then after about that week, 2 week period, you can start switching to non-scented white cream. That can be Eucerin, that can be any white cream that's just non-scented, because scented lotions can sting the tattoo, it can hurt the tattoo. You definitely don't want any more discomfort than you've already been through. So you want to make sure that you just use a non-scented white cream and then lotion it every now and then. For the A&D ointment, you want to make sure that you apply it more than you clean it. So you definitely want to make sure you apply it after you clean your tattoo, but also throughout the day. Maybe 2 or 3 times a day, because you will start to feel throughout the day your tattoo feels a little tight, it feels a little dry, so you want to make sure that you keep it moisturized if it does feel dry, but again, do not over moisturize. So after you switch to white cream, your tattoo at this point is pretty much healed. It's still very new, it's still very fresh, you still want to be careful with it, but for the most part it is healed. If you run your hands along your tattoo when it's first done, you can definitely feel the line work. And after your tattoo is healed, if you run your hand over it, it will just feel like your normal skin. So that's a good way to know if your tattoo is healed or not. Now, when it comes to the sun, summer is coming up, it's just right around the corner. The most important thing to do for your tattoo after it's already healed is put sunscreen on it, because sunscreen is such an important thing not only for your skin but for the longevity of your tattoo. Because if you do not apply sunscreen to your tattoo and you go out into the sun, your tattoo will fade much more quickly, especially colored tattoos. If you have a lot of color in your tattoos, the sun is your worst enemy. It will pull that color right out and you're left with a very dull tattoo. So you want to make sure your tattoo stays as vibrant for as long as possible. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, also subscribe down below, hit that bell icon so you get notified of when I upload videos, because I don't have a set filming schedule yet. Also, leave in the comments below something you would like to hear from me. I have a couple ideas for Things to Know Thursday, such as things to know before you go to college, things to know before you move out on your own. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, I would love to hear them. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!